Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and today we are going to see an amazing game played between world number 1 and world number 2. With the white pieces we have Magnus Carlsen, and with the black pieces we have Hikaru Nakamura. No, this game is not from the Esports World Cup, but this game is from the Norway Chess 2025. And Magnus won the event, but this game is one amazing one. So without further ado, let's start with this game. We have d4 by Magnus, d5 and c4 to c6. Going for the Slav defense, we have knight to f3, knight to f6, and knight to c3. We have d captures, g3, and now just going for this b5, just trying to protect that pawn. That doesn't work out. A4 is always there, so we have bishop g to e6, but here just castles, bishop to b7, knight to e5, and here just going for queen to c8. We have b3, just challenging those over advanced pawn. We have b4, and now here just going for a very nice knight to a4. You have to be careful in this position as well. I mean, because you could go c3 and over advance your pawn and play all those sorts of moves. I particularly don't enjoy these kinds of variations, but uh, over advancing your pawn doesn't make any sense because you won't be able to defend it. A3 will be coming soon enough. I mean, it's for so long you can defend it and so long you can annoy your opponent unless those pawns pass. But here you could play this c captures on b4, and here after a captures, knight bd7. Now most likely knight to c4, bishop to e7, and here after knight to a5, attacking this bishop. You don't want to capture, but here after bishop to d8, what you want to do is you want to play knight to c5. And you can see that there's a lot of pressure on that bishop, so something got to give. So here knight caps on c5, d captures, but now this castles, bishop to b2, and very nice. Bishop is on a very nice diagonal. We have knight to d5, and here just moving the knight back, we have a5. But now just comes this knight to d6, and with a very nice fork. And once the queen moves, now you play this queen to c2, bishop to f6, and here in this position you don't want to go there because here after captures, knight just moves back, so there's no point in going for that. So here just after bishop captures on f6, knight captures, we have rook to a2, finally trying to double up and trying to put some pressure on that a5 pawn. But here after queen to c7, rook f to a1, knight to d7, you're going to play bishop to e4, and most likely or not, you're gonna capture that pawn sooner or later, and white will have a great game. But here in this position, c3 was played, and c3 works. It's not like it's a blunder or something, but it just gives Magnus a bit too much, because I think Magnus tried the same opening in Esports World Cup with the white pieces. He was playing against Alireza Firouzja, and he got a very nice structure with this with the white pieces, and Alireza wasn't able to defend that structure, and structure completely collapsed, and he lost in like very less moves. So definitely not an opening you want to choose. And here just a3, knight bd7, but here just going for this a captures, and we have bishop captures, bishop to a3, but here just a5, and now we have knight captures on c3, just finally grabbing that pawn. And now you cannot go here capture because this knight will jump in, and there's going to be a lot of forking ideas with this royal fork. I mean, it could get very, very dangerous, so not something you want to do. Here after castles, this bishop caps on b4, we have a captures, knight to d7, knight captures on d7, and we have knight captures and just knight to a4. And here after bishop to a6, we have this queen to d2, bishop to b5, but just finally going for rook f to c1, and we have the rook to a6. But now in this position, Magnus has to be very much careful. What do you play in this position to give you an advantage? I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try and find out the only move in this position which gives you a bit of an advantage while I give you a couple of seconds. It's important to recognize that these pawns are very much important, and you cannot just sacrifice them for the fun of it, because you have to play this rook to a2. Double up here, and only then you'll be able to grapple some advantage, because here after queen to 8, now you play this queen caps on b4, just grabbing the pawn. And here after rook to b8, now you play queen to c3 at 6, and here rook c to a1, you'll play this rook to b7, queen to c2, and here knight. And now after going for this knight to c3, now you trade a pair of rooks, and here once everything gets traded off, you'll get this endgame which is much favorable for white. But here after rook to a6, e3 was played, not trying to go for any of that. And here we have queen to a8, same idea, but just queen caps on b4, just grabbing that. But now comes this annoying knight to b6 that you had to face. And I mean, Hikaru doesn't miss these tactics. He's going to find them either way. Rook to c5 now, but just comes knight to d5. And now here bishop caps on d5 was played by Magnus. We have e captures, rook c to c1, and here just h5. Hikaru is definitely trying to set up some sort of an attack. Queen is already on a very nice diagonal, but that diagonal needs to open up. And here we have h4, not allowing any of that. We have rook to e8, but now just queen to c3. We have queen to c8 and just knight to c5. Rook captures on a1, rook captures and just g5. And Hikaru is absolutely trying to open up lines so that he's able to attack, maybe just move the king and get the rook into the game as well. H captures and just h4, but here just going for this very nice e4, and e4 is the absolute best move in this position which Magnus found. D captures, but here just rook to e1. And in this position, again, you have to be very much careful. The idea is not to go here, but the idea is to go all the way over here. And here after queen to e3, now you play king to g7. And here once the queen goes here trying to deliver some checks, what you want to do now is play this amazing e3. And now once the check comes, you move away. And here after g6, trying to annoy it, you play this e captures. And here after queen captures, rook captures, queen captures, queen captures on g3 with the check. And when all is said and done, you'll get this end game where this is, everyone knows this is a draw. You cannot do anything in this position. So here we after rook to e1, queen to g4 was played, but here is queen to e3. And here we have h captures, f captures. But now you have to understand that this pawn might fall, but white is in this position. Only white is the one that's pushing for something other than a draw. King to g7, but now this comes king to g2, rook to h8. We have queen captures on e4, and here just queen to h3. And this queen to h3 is a complete blunder. And the reason is that you're abandoning your king side, and when white launches attack, you won't be able to survive. The best way to play in this position is to go for this queen captures on g5, and that's the best way, because here after queen to e5 check, you just capture, and you'll get this endgame with white is up on up, but it's not gonna stick. That's what you have to understand, because here after e6, rook to e2 check, king to f3. Now you play f captures, knight captures, king moves, and here after knight to c5, you have to understand you have a light squared bishop against a knight. You might be up a pawn, but once you trade everything off, you'll be able to hold it off, and there is no no need to worry about that. But here after queen captures, queen to h3, and now comes the issue, because king to f3, and now bishop to f1, trying to trying to go and grab the queen, but obviously Magnus sees it. We have king to f4, and we have this queen to h2. But now just comes queen to e5 check, king moves, and now just rook captures, and now you have lost a complete bishop for absolutely no counterplay. And we have queen to g2 in this position, but after rook to a1, it was on this move, on move 40, that Hikaru Nakamura resigned the game, and Magnus got this spectacular victory in just 40 moves. Why he resigned? Because it's a forcing sequence, it's a mate in 9 move. Now here queen to d2 check, this was not played on the board. I'm just showing you the mate sequence. If you want to find out, you can play it for yourself and try it out. Here king to f5, but here is queen to f2 check, king to g4. We have rook to h4. You have to sacrifice the piece, otherwise you're just mate in a few more moves. So here just g captures, king to h7. We have a beautiful g6. If you capture here, the rook gets in with the tempo, so you don't want to do that. So here king captures, but just queen to h5 check, king to g7, knight to e6, sacrificing the entire knight. And after f captures, rook to a7, only move queen blocks. And now after queen captures on f7, king to h8, and you'll get this queen to h7 checkmate. So here after rook to a1, Hikaru realized this, and he resigned the game, and Magnus got this spectacular victory in Norway Chess 2025 with absolutely stunning play. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all.